There's a certain type of person who exists quietly in the digital world. They open Instagram, scroll through their feed, watch their friends' stories, maybe even like a few posts. Then they close the app without sharing anything themselves. No photos, no updates, no thoughts broadcasted to the world. They're not inactive. They're watching, reading, staying connected. But when it comes to posting their own life, something stops them. Not because they're scared or have nothing to say, it's something else entirely. Most people assume these silent scrollers are just shy, or maybe they don't understand social media. But that's not it at all. These are people who figured something out that others haven't, that being online doesn't mean you have to perform for everyone. Think about someone in your class who never posts. They're on their phone just as much as anyone else. They see the memes, watch the TikToks, keep up with the drama. But their own accounts? Barely anything there. Maybe an old profile picture from 2 years ago. Maybe a few posts total. Other people find this weird. Why don't you post more? They ask. And the person usually gives some casual answer like, I don't really have anything to post, or I just don't feel like it. But the real reason is deeper than that. Here's what's actually happening inside their head. They've realized that posting comes with a cost. Every time someone shares something on social media, they're essentially asking for a reaction. They're saying, look at this, tell me what you think, validate this moment for me. And for some people, that transaction doesn't feel worth it. Scientists who study social media have found something interesting. Most people who post a lot are looking for what's called external validation. That's a fancy way of saying they need other people to tell them they're doing okay. Every like is a small boost. Every comment is proof that they matter. When the likes don't come, they feel invisible. But people who don't post, they've learned to validate themselves. They don't need 50 likes on a selfie to know they look good. They don't need comments on their vacation photos to know the trip was fun. They just know. The experience was real whether anyone else saw it or not. This is actually a sign of something healthy. It means their self-esteem isn't built on what strangers think. It's built on what they know about themselves, what their real friends think, and what actually matters to them. Imagine eating an amazing burger. For some people, the first instinct is to take a photo, post it, wait for reactions. The burger isn't fully enjoyed until other people acknowledged it was a good burger. But for non-posters, the burger is just good. That's enough. They don't need to turn the experience into content. There's another reason these people stay quiet online. Boundaries. That might sound like an adult word, but it's actually pretty simple. Boundaries are just knowing what's yours to share and what you want to keep private. When someone posts everything online, their room, their family, their feelings, their arguments, they're inviting everyone to have an opinion about their life. Even people who barely know them, even random classmates, even people who don't really care but will judge anyway. Non-posters look at that and think, why would I want that? They're not being secretive, they're just being selective. They understand that not everything needs to be public. Some moments are better when they're just yours. This makes them different in an interesting way. While everyone else is busy filming things to post them, these people are actually living their moments. There's actually research showing that when you're focused on capturing something for social media, you enjoy it less in the moment. You're thinking about angles, captions, how it will look to others. You're not fully there. Non-posters are fully there. That sunset? They watched it, not photographed it. That funny moment with friends? They laughed. They didn't immediately think, this would make a good post. That accomplishment? They felt proud without needing strangers to congratulate them. This gives them a superpower. They see things other people miss. They notice when someone's smile in their posts doesn't match how they actually seem at school. They can tell the difference between someone's real life and their online life. They're not fooled by the highlight reel because they're not creating one themselves. But this way of being comes with downsides too. The biggest one is feeling left out. When everyone around them is participating in online culture and they're not, it can feel like watching a game from the sidelines. People reference posts they didn't see, inside jokes from comment sections they weren't part of, viral moments they missed because they don't check social media that often. Then there's the misunderstanding. People might think they're judging others for posting when they're really not. They might seem disconnected when actually they're paying more attention than anyone. They might look like they're trying to be mysterious or different when really they just prefer privacy. Sometimes it gets lonely, not because they don't have friends, but because friendship has changed. Now it's not enough to talk to someone in real life, you're also supposed to like their posts, comment on their stories, keep up with their online presence. And when you don't do that part, people might think you don't care about them, even though you literally sat with them at lunch an hour ago. The hardest part might be the doubt. When everyone else is doing something and you're not, you start to wonder, am I the weird one? Is there something wrong with me? Have I missed the point of everything? Maybe I should just start posting like everyone else. But here's the thing. There's nothing wrong with being this way. Not posting doesn't mean someone is antisocial or stuck in the past. It means they've chosen a different way of being social, one that prioritizes real conversations over public ones, deep friendships over wide networks, being known by a few people really well instead of being kind of known by hundreds. And science backs this up. Studies show that having a few close friends matters way more for happiness than having tons of followers or acquaintances. Quality beats quantity every time. So what should these non-posters do? First, stop feeling guilty about it. There's no rule that says being on social media means you have to perform on social media. It's completely fine to scroll without posting, to watch without sharing, to exist online without broadcasting your existence. Second, find your balance. Maybe that means posting once in a while when something feels genuinely worth sharing, not because you should, but because you want to. Maybe it means being more active in private group chats where it feels safer. Maybe it means nothing changes because what you're already doing works for you. Third, remember that your way of connecting is just as valid as anyone else's. You're not boring because you don't post. You're not missing out because you're not chasing likes. You're just different, and different is okay. What definitely doesn't help is forcing yourself to post just because everyone else does, or beating yourself up for not being more active online, or pretending to be someone you're not because the internet expects it. The truth is simple. Some people are broadcasters. They think out loud, they share everything, they need that interaction. Other people are observers. They think internally, they keep most things private. They don't need public validation. Neither way is wrong. They're just different styles of being human. People who don't post aren't disconnected from the world. They're just connected differently. They care about their friendships, they just show it in person instead of through comments. They have opinions, they just share them in conversations instead of posts. They live full lives, those lives just aren't performed for an audience. In a world where everyone is competing for attention, where people measure their worth in likes and followers, where every moment is potential content, choosing to stay quiet is actually brave. It's saying, my value doesn't depend on visibility. My life is meaningful even if strangers don't see it. I don't need to perform to exist. These people have figured out something important. Being seen by everyone is not the same as being known by someone. 1,000 followers who barely know you can't replace 3 friends who actually get you. A viral post can't give you what a real conversation can. So if there's someone in your life who never posts, don't assume they're weird or hiding something. They're just someone who found a different way to be themselves. Someone who realized that silence isn't the same as absence, that privacy isn't the same as secrecy, that you can be fully alive without documenting every moment of that life. They're not missing out. They're just not missing the point that real life happens whether you post about it or not. That friendships are built in real conversations, not comment sections. that the best moments are often the ones no one else sees. They're living life on their own terms. And honestly, that's more authentic than any carefully curated feed could ever be.
Thanks for watching. If this gave you real understanding, let me know in the comments. Which part hit hardest?